Okay, back to doing squats, and I'm doing some workup sets, which are super important. So it's just like when we do parkour. If you go out and you try to do jumps when you're cold, you're not going to be as successful as if you actually do a proper warm-up. Maybe some smaller jumps first. I know some of you like the idea of jumping into the weight room and putting, over 200 pounds in the bar and calling that your first set and just skipping the warm-up altogether. But there really isn't any benefit to doing that. So to just jumping in cold, other than maybe, I don't know, the ego gain you get from it. For me personally, if you told me that you did some sort of big squat or big jump without a warm-up, it doesn't really make it that much more impressive than if you properly warmed up. So nothing really to gain. I don't know who you're trying to impress. Stop doing it. I like to make bridges in between the different activities that I do. So lifting, for example. I'm gonna quote, I don't remember where I heard this quote. I'll look it up after, put it in the video, but there's a powerlifting quote that I heard once that went something along the lines of, treat your light sets like they're heavy and treat your heavy weights like they're light. And so what you can imagine this means is it's more of the mentality that you use going in. So if you're doing your workup sets, which are light, that's you're taking the time to practice getting tight, getting good technique, getting into position. And you could really do the same thing with parkour. If you're doing like tiny rail prees or whatever, just to work on your technique, but treating them like, you're up high somewhere, or that it's a bigger jump and that you have to be absolutely perfect. And then the idea of treating your bigger weights, or in parkour, your bigger jumps, like they're light, is so that you can be a bit more relaxed and ready to tackle those bigger challenges without feeling tight or having that extra anxiety. All right, that was my final workup set. That was 250, and the weight is moving pretty smooth. So today I'm supposed to be doing somewhere in between 265 and 285 for 4 or 5 sets of 4. So the next weight I'm gonna do, I'm gonna bump it up to 275. That was feeling really smooth, so I think adding another 25 pounds should be okay. Suppose I should use the safety pins. That felt heavy. Take a break. Hopefully the next set's a little smoother. Yeah, I broke those in, each one of them. I didn't film it before you got here. I broke in each one of those bands. Every set I did for like a physio exercise, I used a new band. Oh, yeah. Fast. Fast. I'm fast. So fast. Oh, crap. That's not very fast. That's not very fast at all. So, that anxiety that I talked about, it was supposed to go away when you get to your heavy sets. It's not going away. 275 is a weird number for me. I know other times when I've taken breaks away from doing squats, just whenever I finally hit 275 is when things start to change a little bit for me. But we're getting it done. We got one more set. Hey, Steph. Hi. So while I'm preparing for this next set here, I wanted to talk about goals
Yeah.
And it's the time to talk about goals because it's you know, it's the new year and stuff. Are you a New Year's resolution type? You're not a New Year's. Okay, me neither. Yeah. Screw New Year's resolutions. But let's talk goals. What are some goals you got right now?
Oh man, I'm not a big planner. This sucks.
It's okay. We can edit this.
Mainly, I'd like to be improving my technical skills right now, but I have a limitation with how much impact I can do. So I'm focusing right now on my post B.
There's a limitation because of the knee. Is
Yeah.
that the main thing?
And I've definitely learned over time that I do a lot better, not so much planning my outcomes, but my behaviors. So in terms of goals, I don't like to set myself up for disappointment because I judge myself harshly if I don't meet goals. And also I have a habit of once I reach a goal, I immediately move it instead of enjoying what I have accomplished. So I try to be a little bit more focused on my process and making sure I'm super consistent and keep enjoying what I'm doing, and then I know that the results will just follow.
Right on. Those are good ideas. I unfortunately have a goal that I have to hit. So last year, I was feeling really good with my explosive power output, so with jumping and things like that. And I was being on top of my squats, squatting heavy frequently, low volume throughout the summer. And I was like, I'm definitely gonna break last year's max for squat. And I'm definitely gonna jump bigger than last year. So I don't know about the jumping, as Steph was saying. I'm not gonna set up myself a goal that I'm really not sure I might achieve or not. But for the squat, so last year I did a max of 335, which is what I'm basing all of everything off of right now. And that's not a PR, but that is what I maxed out at last year. So the goal is to beat that. I'm thinking 340, 345. Obviously, I'm just recovering from a knee injury and my leg got tiny and that is holding things back, but I am better technically in the squat than I've ever been. So I think it's possible. I think I'm gonna do it. Okay. Beat that. Oh, that last one sucked. Not how I wanted to finish that set. So, in hindsight, I probably should have went with the lower percentage of weight today. So I could have done something in between 265 and 285. I probably should have leaned closer to 265 for today as I'm still getting used to squatting again. Take this opportunity to learn from me. That is not what your last rep on the second week of a program should look like. But I got a little carried away. I just really like the way 275 looks on the bar. You know, you got the 2 plates on each side. You got the 25. It looks really nice. I didn't want to do like all the change plates and stuff. So that played into things a little bit, and I am regretting it. So I was planning on talking throughout the workout about how I plan to improve my squat from last year and also improve my jumps moving forward. But the workout was getting kind of long, and now this edit is getting kind of long. So I'm gonna get into it in next week's video. And now would be a great time for you to leave me a question or a comment, anything you wanna know about squats or improving your jump. That right there is a piece of tape with some more tape on it, and that's what I use as a jump target. Now, last year I was using this a lot, doing depth jumps off of there. Right now, I'm just trying to see if I can reach that with a standing jump just off of the ground. Obviously, I'm not at peak jumping form right now, so I've managed to hit it a couple times on other days. Not with my left hand, I can only hit it with my right hand. This is most terrible feeling. You can see it like waving because like the wind, it's like the wind got it, but not me.
It's haunting you.
Crash all your stuff over there. Right hand. Look at that. Oh, 3 in a row right hand. I gotta be able to get one off with my left hand. Is it actually like, is my right hand higher? Or no? Is my right hand like, I guess.
You're wondering if you have one arm this long.
Yeah, well, I think like this one is looser maybe. There we go. Okay, we're balanced somewhat. Oh, there we go. Okay, not too bad. That's actually the most touches. That's more than I did earlier this week when I actually did my jumps before my squats. So jumps are improving, which is awesome. Now, I used to be able to touch the ceiling 5 years ago. I'm still probably about 3 or 4 inches shy of that. Shy is the word we were looking for. I'd like to get back to that. I'd like to be able to get back to touching the ceiling. All right, so I'm doing broad jumps next, precision jump style. I like doing those after the vertical jumps, and if you watch my other video on depth jumps, you'll know that I favor vertical jumps as a training tool to get better at broad jumps, box jumps, all the kinds of landing type jumps that we're doing in parkour where you have to jump and then change your hips, so you have to actually bend at the hips to land. Cool thing about vertical jumps is you do have to eventually land back on the ground, but you're able to get full extension and focus on that extension and actually achieve that full extension because you're not trying to bring your knees up or your feet up to land on something, whereas that's what I have to do here. So not only do I like it doing vertical jumps as an exercise in general, but I like it as a warm-up to doing things like broad jumps. So the short-term goal for my jumps right now is to try to get back to doing this standing pre, and so conveniently I can put 2 blocks next to it. Okay. All right, that is it. You still there? Oh, thanks for hanging with me to the end of this video. I gotta go get some food. You gotta hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that already, and leave me a comment on anything that I said in the video that you liked, or better yet, leave a comment if there's something I said that you didn't like. We'll have a little discussion, we'll both learn, and we'll be better for it. Hit that like button, and we'll see you next week. Stay chiseled.